Talking to Dave Mason about recording with George Harrison on his iconic All Things Must Pass album, that there was just a lot of people there. Maybe too many people at the sessions. Dave Mason on meeting and working with George Harrison on Rock History Music. What was working with George in that iconic album? I've talked to, again, David Henschel, Alan White, Joey Mullen. They've all talked about their experiences on that. Well, and how did you get to know George?
I got to know. I dated a girl named Carol Russell, who was a brilliant art. She was at the Royal College of Art, and she was designing a couch for McCartney, a transparent couch that had all the characters from the Sgt. Pepper album in it. And he came by the studio one evening to see how things were going. So that's where I met him. And out of that, I was, he said, come on down to the studio sometime and hang out. So I'd go down to Abbey Road while they were recording and stuff. And that's where I got to know George and Paul mostly. And George, I eventually I'd have casual meetings, or we'd run into each other occasionally, and then the sitar became a common bond between us. So that's how I got to know him. So I'm playing on the on All Things Must Pass. I mean, for me, it was. It's sort of. I have other more memorable moments with George that are in the book than doing All Things Must Pass, because All Things Must Pass. There were so many people there at the sessions, and if you asked me on top of my head what I played on, I couldn't. I had no idea. So
you mentioned the sitar. Did you ever know Ravi?
No, I didn't know him. I saw him at Ala Rocca 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. I interviewed him a couple of years before he died. He blessed me at the end of the interview. I said, "Oh, Ravi Shankar blessed me." How did your parents react to you becoming famous or being successful, and or whatever you want to call it? How did they react? How did your friends react when this was all happening?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this since I was. I mean, basically, I've been doing this since I was 16, more or less. I pretty much left school when I was 16, 17 years old.
But there's no guarantee you'll be successful. You were.
No guarantee about anything, period. There's no golden parachute in this gig, okay? At all. So yeah, it's what I chose to do. It's my passion, I guess, and I always look at it that I did a lot with a little. Let's put it that way.
Redid your first album. How did that feel going into? I mean, I know you did a lot of those songs in concert. You performed a lot of those songs. That first album really hit me. That was a big record for me. But still, I mean, I noticed the packaging was different. You were talking to that Australian YouTuber, and you were showing the package of the CD that was quite nice. What does it feel like going back and listening to the actual album, your younger selves, even though you do those songs? What was the?
Oh, you mean the original version of Alone Together?
Yeah,
and I redid it as Alone Together again.
Yeah.
And mostly, I redid it because all the master. I started doing it. It started with World in Changes, basically, which just to take one of my songs and just do it a totally different way. So I made that into a sort of reggae version, and it started there. And then I decided to do it because all those master tapes got burnt and lost at Universal along with a bunch of other people. So I figured, screw it, I'll just re-record the whole damn thing, and then I'll own it. They won't. Original stuff is, I mean, I still, it just holds up pretty good, I think. So yeah, it's still, the songs I mean, I consciously have always tried to write timeless songs anyway, timeless themes, basically.
We'll have more from Dave Mason in the next few days. Hope you're enjoying this series. He's such an interesting guy. But again, I'd be remiss if I didn't say he couldn't tell us all the secrets because the book is coming out in May. So he was being cautious. If you want to pre-order Dave Mason's book, his autobiography, go to davemasonmusic.com. And remember, make a donation to the channel if you dig us. There's a PayPal link right at the very top of the description. Join our Patreon, get early access. Like, comment on our videos, subscribe, and share them on social media. I'm John Bogey. Rock History Music.